What if you became President of the United States? Picture this for a moment. Imagine you're not that ordinary person who wakes up in the morning to check their phone or make that first cup of coffee. Imagine you opened your eyes this morning to a different ringtone, not a regular notification, but an encrypted call from the hotline. That line that only rings in exceptional circumstances. You glance at the clock. It's 3 in the morning. On the other end of the line, a calm voice, but the tone carries absolute seriousness. Mr. President, apologies for the disturbance, but we have a security breach at a vital facility, and the situation is developing rapidly. Yes, Mr. President, because today, quite suddenly, you're no longer an ordinary citizen. You've become the President of the United States of America. Let me take you on a journey that will only last about 10 minutes, but it will completely change your perspective on every president you've ever seen on television. You'll feel what they feel and see what they see behind closed doors. You'll sit at that famous desk in the Oval Office, and you'll discover it's not just about power and prestige. It's more like sitting on a chair made of fire. The first thing you'll feel when you step into the Oval Office for the first time is the weight of history. Not just the weight of responsibility, but the weight of the decisions made by the men and women who came before you. You'll look at the picture behind the desk. Maybe it's of your family you left upstairs in the White House residence, or maybe a national symbol. In that moment, you'll realize that every word you utter in the coming minutes will be analyzed, criticized, and archived. Your first meeting will be with the National Security Advisor, and you'll find yourself facing files classified as beyond top secret. You'll discover that the world you saw on the news was just the tip of the iceberg. You'll discover there are crises that never reach the public eye, simply because they shouldn't know, to prevent panic. Let's start with the biggest challenge: national security. As president, you are now the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Under your command is the largest military arsenal in human history. But in your coat pocket, specifically in that bag the military aide follows you everywhere with, known as the nuclear football, there's a card containing the nuclear launch codes. Imagine you're in a meeting with the prime minister of a friendly nation, and suddenly an aide enters and whispers in your ear, "Sir, we have an alert of a missile incoming towards U.S. territory. We have 6 minutes to verify." In those moments, you don't have the luxury of seeking the absolute truth. You have minutes to decide. Do you retaliate with a devastating nuclear strike? Do you risk the safety of millions based on unverified information? This isn't a movie. This is the reality the President of the United States sleeps and wakes up with. And moving away from doomsday scenarios, there's the toughest daily challenge: managing a deeply divided nation. You'll sit in a meeting with congressional leaders and find that the party holding the majority might oppose you, even if you're from the same party. You'll see how passing a simple bill to improve roads can turn into a bitter political battle, because the other side wants to see you fail. You'll feel the frustration when you learn a project that could have created thousands of jobs has been stuck in committee for months simply because it has your signature on it. You'll look in the mirror and ask yourself, how can I be the most powerful man in the world, yet unable to convince a group of politicians to support a simple budget? Then there's the media pressure. You'll quickly discover the camera is a very faithful friend, but also a treacherous one. Any word that leaves your mouth, even a casual compliment, can become a headline in global newspapers. You'll learn to speak cautiously, to rehearse your jokes, because a poorly timed joke could spark a diplomatic crisis with a longtime ally. You'll wake up every morning to find dozens of articles analyzing your facial expressions from yesterday's press conference, or criticizing your tie color because it didn't precisely match the colors of the flag. This media frenzy is part of your daily routine. But it's not all challenges and pressures. There's a bright side too, the side that makes it all worthwhile. Imagine signing a law that provides health care for millions of children. Imagine standing on a platform in a state devastated by a hurricane and seeing hope in people's eyes because you're there, because you came to tell them the country won't abandon them. That feeling is priceless. It's the feeling of being a real agent of change. One of the greatest positives is your power to shape the Supreme Court. This privilege might not be fully understood by the average citizen, but it's the essence of power. When you appoint a justice to the Supreme Court, you influence the country's future for decades to come, because that justice serves for life, and their opinion will be decisive on issues of abortion, gun rights, immigration, everything. It's your lasting imprint, remaining long after you're gone. And on a personal level, there are undeniable perks. The White House isn't just a home, it's a living museum. You'll live in a building with 132 rooms with unparalleled service. You have a personal chef, a 24/7 medical team, and a security detail protecting you every step of the way. You have Air Force One, the presidential plane, which is more like a flying luxury hotel taking you anywhere in the world. You have your own elevator, a bowling alley, a movie theater. It's a life reminiscent of ancient royalty, but at the heart of a modern republic. But the most valuable perk, in my opinion, is the platform. As President of the United States, the entire world listens to you. If you give a speech on climate change, millions will change their behavior. If you speak about peace in the Middle East, major world capitals begin to move. Your voice is no longer just an individual's voice. It becomes a diplomatic tool in itself. You can stop wars with a single phone call. You can save the lives of thousands of refugees with one decision. And yet, let me bring you back to that night. It's 2 in the morning, and you're still alone in the Oval Office. Everyone's gone, even your top advisors have left. You're looking at the remaining papers on your desk. Some are about humanitarian aid, some are about covert military operations. And suddenly, you open the secret drawer in the desk, and you find an old note written by a former president to himself, or maybe by an aide. You read it. Don't forget you're human. Don't forget to thank your Secret Service agents. Don't forget to call your mom. Yes, even the president needs someone to remind them they're human. In the end, being President of the United States is the greatest privilege and the heaviest burden a human being can bear. It's the constant feeling of being under a microscope, that every step you take could be history. It's the constant worry about the future and the joy and accomplishments. It's a strange mix of isolation at the top and the crowd down below. You're up there at the summit, seeing everything clearly, yet you simultaneously feel everyone is waiting for you to fall. If you became president tomorrow, specifically you, reading these words right now, what would you do? Would you succumb to the pressure, or would you use this immense power to dream on a cosmic scale? Always remember, it's the tough decisions that make history, not the easy days. Thanks for joining me on this imaginary journey. And now, turn off the lights in the Oval Office and go get some rest, because tomorrow might be another long day.